beautiful fall afternoon in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome to Case Football. David Wilson at Case Field in University Circle, where the Spartans today open the 2009 season against the Kenyan Lords. The Spartans coming off a spectacular campaign a year ago in which they were 10-1. They come into this season ranked 16th by D3Football.com, and they are winners of 21 consecutive regular season games dating back to the 2006 season. Happy to welcome in again my broadcast partner, Ed Doherty, back for our third season in the Case booth. Ed, and what a beautiful day for college football as it gets started around the country in all levels, but particularly here on the Case campus. High hopes and high expectations for this team.
Well, perfect weather for a season that is expected to be perfect from what everybody's talking about. Perfect the last two seasons during the regular year. Looking for another one as the schedule is virtually the same as it was last year. And the Spartans don't lose too much in terms of skilled players. They have quarterback, 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers back from last year on the offense. And defensively, the heart of that defense with Bobby Bott and Jeff Brown return as well for the Spartans.
Well, over the years, Case against Kenyon has not always been an easy game for Case. Kenyon actually leads the all-time series 15-10-1. However, in recent years, Ed, Case has controlled the series, including last year when Case got the season started with a 62-27 victory in Gambier, Ohio. But really more important than the final score or the wins or the losses, Case has not always come out of this game in one piece.
Well, injuries have been the storyline when Case faces Kenyon. Last year, Case lost quarterback Dan Whalen for a bit. Brian Calderon was lost for more than half the season after suffering a knee injury in that game against Kenyon. And we were talking to some people before the game, and they said you got to go back 4 or 5 years, and the captains against Kenyon, for Case against Kenyon, seemed to get an injury in the game against Kenyon. And that goes back 4 or 5 seasons now in which the captains have not survived.
Well, Case will get the ball to start the game today here at Case Field. Harry Von Kahn will be kicking off for the Kenyon Lords. And back deep, the preseason All-American Bobby Bott and Sean Nicely for Case. It is 70 degrees under very bright and sunny skies here at Case Field as we get ready to start this 2009 season. It's Case against Kenyon in Division III football today as the Spartans look to extend this 21-game consecutive winning streak in regular season play. So Von Kahn ready to approach the football. It is in the air, and this season is underway. It'll be taken by Sean Nicely at the 8-yard line, heads back to the middle of the field, across the 25 to the 30, down to the 40 to the 45, midfield, back down to the 42-yard line of Kenyon. And what a great return for Sean Nicely, the junior out of Willoughby South High School, comes up with a big-time return into Kenyon territory.
Well, that huge return sets the tone, and that seems to be the way things have gone in that Case-Kenyon game over the last few years. Big plays by the Spartans. Kenyon gets put back on their heels early, and the Spartans simply dominate the first half, and Kenyon has to pick it up in the second half with their second-teamers.
It is Heritage Day here at Case Western Reserve. The Spartans wearing throwback jerseys. Dan Whalen on the first play from scrimmage this season fires it out to Zach Homick. He makes the catch and steps out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Well, just a classic play that you're going to find in Greg Debelak's playbook. 3-step drop by Whalen. A little short out to Zach Homick on the near side as Case showed a 3-wide receiver set to start with.
9-yard pickup from Whalen to Zach Homick, the junior out of Chicago. 3 men in the backfield for Whalen now, who goes under center. They will hand this ball to Greg Meyer. He hits the line, pushes forward, maybe gains a yard. We'll see if he got the first down. He only needed 1. Greg Meyer, the tailback out of Clearwater, Florida, with his first carry of the season.
A lot of options for Case on second and short, 2nd and 1. Instead, they went with almost an inverted wishbone in the backfield. Sent Chekin in motion as a lead blocker where you expected Corey Chekin to pick up the ball on a 2nd and short if they were going to run the football. Handed it to Meyer, went around the left side for the first down.
They are saying it is a first down, so Case has 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Whalen to Sutka over the middle to the 25, down to the 20, and tackled at the 18-yard line. DJ Sutka, the tight end, with his first catch of the season, finally brought down by Bo Kelsey, the junior linebacker out of Aurora, Ohio, who leads the Kenyon defense. But it's another first down for the Spartan on Sutka's first catch of the year. He had 11 grabs last year.
Sutka not the primary target on that play, but Whalen under pressure dumped it over the middle as the outlet was Sutka.
From the shotgun, Whalen, the senior, rolls to the right, fires down to Cowdrick. It's a touchdown. Tim Cowdrick wide open in the end zone. The first touchdown of the season for the Spartans comes at the 13:54 mark. Cowdrick, the senior out of Mentor, with his first touchdown reception of the 2009 season.
Well, and Tim Cowdrick just seems to keep coming back, seems to keep finding a way to get open on the football field as he battles back from injuries both in high school and here at Case. But he always seems to be the gamer and always seems to find that seam right down the middle of the field, and that's a favorite target of Dan Whalen.
Here is the kick by Sam Coffey on the extra point. It is good, and Case takes an early 7-0 lead with 13:54 to play here in the first quarter. We'll step away for a 30-second timeout. Back with more from Case Field in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Back at Case Field, 7-0 Spartans after the touchdown pass from Dan Whalen to Tim Cowdrick. Tim Cowdrick last season saw action in 6 games and had 23 catches, 4 touchdowns, and he picks up his first TD this year just a little over a minute into the football game.
Yeah, 4 plays, 42 yards, 1 minute, 6 seconds for the Case scoring drive.
Here's the kickoff to the Kenyon Lords. It bounces back to Von Kahn at the 15-yard line. Out across the 20s, leveled at the 24. And that's where Kenyon will take over, as they will bring out their offense for the first time. Kenyon, coached by Ted Stanley in his 7th season at the helm of the Kenyon program. Just 1-9 last year. They had a Week 2 win against Chicago Ed, but then lost 8 straight.
And after that 1-9 season followed a 2-9 the year before, and Stanley's trying to turn this Kenyon program around. He had a little bit of success a couple of years ago, but the team has fallen on some hard times lately.
Mike Hermanson is the quarterback out of Chagrin Falls, Ohio, and he swings it out to Von Kahn. The pass is dropped on a little screen pass out toward the sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Hermanson, 6'1", 210. Passed for 1,830 yards a year ago. It's his 2nd season now as the full-time quarterback for the Kenyon Lords. Kenyon in their traveling white uniforms with the purple trim and purple helmets, and they will hand it off on the 2nd down play to Kyle Toot, their fine senior tailback, and he dives ahead for a couple of yards, but it'll be a long 3rd down.
Well, Dale English got big penetration on the right side of the offensive line. The defensive lineman for Case reached out and just tripped up Toot as he went by. And Toot stumbled forward for a couple, but it was English who got into the backfield that blew up that play.
Unlike Case, where they have a running game by committee, Toot is the guy for Kenyon. He will get about 30 carries today. Hermanson from the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Rolls out to the right, looks downfield, and it's intercepted by Bobby Bott. Bott back to the 30, to the 25, 20, down to the 15, to the 10, still on his feet at the 5-yard line and dragged down at the 2. The All-American Bobby Bott, the senior out of Grafton, Ohio, runs it all the way back inside the 5, finally tackled just short of the goal line.
Well, Hermanson forced that into coverage. Bott stepped up, and the team captain took it all the way back to the 2-yard line. Fancy footwork on the far side of the field for Bott. You mentioned first interception of the season. He had 7 picks last year. Also had 1 forced fumble, 15 pass defended, and 8 pass broken up. So
huge defensive play for Case. The great return puts them at the 2-yard line. They will turn around, hand it to Corey Checken. They grab him at the goal line and force him back. I don't think Checken got in. He'll get down to the 1-yard line, maybe inside the 1. The short yardage back, Corey Checken, the senior fullback out of Georgetown, Pennsylvania.
Well, Corey Checken last year had 68 carries. 66 of them were for positive yards. Only twice was he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So Corey Checken will get them shoulder pads over his knees and move the pile.
They will go and hand this one to Bill Deitman. No, he keeps the football. Whalen flips it into the end zone to DJ Sutka for his first career touchdown reception. 1-yard touchdown pass to Sutka. Great play fake to Deitman. Everybody followed. Deitman, who ran left, Sutka wide open in the end zone, and it is 13-0 Case, as Dan Whalen has now thrown 2 touchdown passes today.
Sutka did a nice job, too. He sold the run to the left, rolled to his right, released, and was wide open in the end zone.
Colasar will hold for Coffee once again. The kick is up, and it is good. 14-0 Case, 12:24 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back with more after this from Case Field on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Broadcast of the game for Kenyon today, so we imagine a lot of folks tuning into our internet broadcast, so we welcome you to our coverage of today's game. 12:19 to play in the first quarter. Back to throw Hermanson to Von Kahn, and he makes the catch at the 35-yard line, a pickup of 5. Von Kahn is a terrific player for the Kenyon Lords, 6'4", 225-pound senior out of Washington, D.C., a preseason All-America pick by Consensus Draft Services. He had 64 catches and 847 receiving yards last year, 10 touchdowns.
Kenyon in a 5 wide receiver set in Case bringing the blitz.
They'll flip this one back to the receiver, Brett Williams, and he dives over the 40-yard line and picks up a first down. Brett Williams, the freshman out of Chesterland, he played his high school ball locally here in Cleveland at West Geauga High School. Makes the catch out of the backfield. Picks up 6 on the play. It's a first down at the 41-yard line of the Lords.
Now Kenyon's gone back to a 3 wide receiver set. Kyle Toot in the ballgame, as is the tight end.
Toot to the right of Hermanson. Hermanson wants to keep this one, and he's in trouble, and he loses a yard as he is tackled in the backfield. Nicely defended by the Spartans as Dale English, the sophomore again, gets in there and takes out Hermanson. That play just did not develop, Ed, the way Kenyon wanted it to. Looked like a design quarterback keep.
Well, and give credit to Adam Watson, who's playing the fourth defensive lineman for Case, usually in a 3-4 setup for the Spartans. But Watson, the freshman from Mentor, on the end, forced Hermanson back into the middle of the field.
Shotgun snap to Hermanson. He drops the football, picks it up, tries to run with it, gets out to the 45-yard line, and an ankle tackle turned in by the Spartans as Jeff Brown grabbed him around the shoestrings and tripped up Hermanson, but that will bring about a 3rd down and 6. The football marked at the 45-yard line.
The timing on that play was all off once Hermanson dropped the football. Looked to be a quick hitter, and then Hermanson had to change plans and take it himself.
Great to have you with us today for Case football. It's the season opener, Case versus Kenyon today. Hermanson drops back to throw, lofts it over the middle. It's caught at the midfield stripe, now down to the 46-yard line. Mike Leskoski, the senior out of North Lima South Range High School, picks up his first catch of the season. Leskoski had a knee injury last year that limited him to just 4 catches. But it's a first down for the Lords now into Case territory at the 46-yard line.
Well, Hermanson's being forced to check down. Von Can is being covered by Bobby Bott. Interesting matchup, All-American versus All-American.
Here's the pitch to Kyle Toot. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and over the 45-yard line. Might have picked up 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Kenyon Lords. Well, Jeff Brown back for his senior season on the Case defense as pretty much the emotional leader out there, Ed, and he is poised to have a great season, as is Bobby Bott. We will hear from Brad Paramore at halftime today, another returning senior on the defensive side. We already talked a little bit about Dale English, the fine sophomore, and now Hermanson is sacked in the backfield, back at the Kenyon 45-yard line, and that's Dale English who got to him. Dale English last year recorded 9.5 sacks, and he wipes out Hermanson again back on the Kenyon side at the 47.
Well, and if Hermanson had time, he had Von Can in the slot, who was running down the field untouched. Bobby Bott had shifted to the outside and was not on Von Can before the pressure got to Hermanson.
Well, they lose 9 on the play. 3rd down and 17. Shotgun snap to Hermanson. He gets rid of it quickly this time, and it's incomplete. Looking for Brett Williams over the middle, and Williams was hit right as the ball arrived by Jake May to jar that football loose. And it's 4th down and 17 with 8:34 to play in the first quarter. Case leading it 14-0, and the Lords will have to punt. Matt Martin is the punter for Kenyon. He's a sophomore out of Summit, New Jersey. Here is the punt, and a fair catch called for, and this one will bounce into the end zone. Nicely lets it go over his head, and it's a touchback, and Case will come back out taking over at their 20-yard line, which for Ted Stanley's standpoint, it's going to be a lot better than the 2.
Well, yeah, Case has started both of their drives in Kenyon territory. Now they're staring at an 80-yard field in front of them.
Case has jumped out to a quick 2-touchdown lead, 14-0. 2 touchdown passes for Dan Whalen. Whalen will call out the signals from the Case 20-yard line. 8:25 to play here in the first quarter. Great to have you with us today for coverage of Case football. Dan Whalen takes the snap. He will hand it off to Greg Meyer, picks his way forward across the 30-yard line, tackled at the 32. Greg Meyer peels off 12 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Case. The third member of our broadcast crew today is Kyle Akins. He is on the sideline. Let's check in with Kyle. Kyle, thank you very much. They certainly have protected Whalen so far in this game. Bill Deitman gets the call on the first down play, gets out across the 35-yard line out to the 37. He picks up 2. Bill Deitman the junior out of Mentor, Ohio, who led the team in carries last year with 82.
Well, to follow up on Kyle's point, that offensive line lost Neil Dolan, Ryan Breon, and Chris Center, an entire right side of the offensive line.
Whalen takes the snap in the shotgun. Plenty of time. He rolls out of the pocket on the right side, throws to the middle of the field to Homick. He's wide open at midfield, down at the 50-yard line. Pickup of 13 as Whalen fired on the run to the junior Zach Homick.
Not too many guys that can do that. Roll to his right, and while still moving, throw across his body. Didn't even try to set his shoulders. Whalen just relied on the arm strength to get that ball out near midfield.
We'll give you some numbers on Whalen in a moment. He drops back to throw again, and again dumps it off to Nicely, this time on a short pass, and he gets down to the 40-yard line. He's tripped up there by Kenyon's Bo Kelsey. Nicely with a grab, and the Spartans again marching. It'll be a 2nd down and 2, so they pick up 8 on the play. Corey Checken lines up in the backfield. Short yardage situation. We'll see if they give it to Corey. Whalen takes the snap. They'll hand it to Checken. He pushes ahead, gets the first down, still on his feet. Now he's finally wrestled down near the 37-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Case. Well, some numbers on Dan Whalen. And of course, these are numbers going into the game today. Whalen enters the season with 6,380 yards, needing 413 passing yards to set a new school record. Whalen turns, flips it out to Homick at the 45, now to the 30, and across the 25, close to the 22-yard line. Homick with a nice catch and run on the sideline. He's tripped up at the 22, and that's going to pick up 15 and another 1st down. Whalen might set the record before we get this out.
Whalen on the afternoon, 7 for 7 this afternoon.
7 for 7. Now 80 yards passing for Dan Whalen in this game. So he is aiming for the school record currently held by Eli Grant, who had 6,792 yards in his career as the Case quarterback.
Whalen now just over 6,400 for his career.
Whalen wings it deep downfield, looking for Colasar in the end zone, and it's incomplete, but a flag comes out as they nail McNeil Parker, the senior safety, on the pass interference in the end zone.
Well, that'll move the ball from the 22. It should put it at the 11-yard line, half the distance.
That pass was right on the money into the corner of the end zone to Ryan Colasar. First time that Whalen has thrown his way today. And the pass interference call goes against Kenyon with 5:47 to play. Case is leading this game by a score of 14-0 here. Whalen with 2 touchdown passes today. Bobby Bott with an interception. And they will mark off the penalty yardage.
Well, they will give him 15 yards on the pass interference.
15-yard penalty. I believe we had that happen last year where we were expecting a half the distance mark-off, but the full 15 will be given, and they will mark this football down at the 7. It'll be 1st and goal for the Spartans.
Well, the Spartans have brought in a jumbo package, DJ Sutka and the backup tight end, Bryce Coleman, in the football game.
Bryce Coleman, 6'2", a sophomore out of Solon, Ohio. Full house backfield with Meyer, Checken, and Bill Deitman. Whalen will go back. They will give it to Bill Deitman. Picks his way down to the 5-yard line. Almost lost the football.
Ball did come loose.
It's loose. They are still wrestling for the ball. And we'll see how the officials sort this out, whether Deitman was down or not at the time that the ball came loose. Kenyon says they have the football, and they do. It's a fumble, and Kenyon recovers.
It looked like Bill Deitman was stopped as he got hit and turned around. Somebody put a helmet right on the football, and it came loose. Deitman reached for it as he was falling, but wasn't able to bring it back in.
Bo Kelsey came out of there with the football, so he will get credit for the fumble recovery, but the Lords force a turnover, and Case gives it up with 5:37 to play here in the first quarter. We are at Case Field today for the Division III season opener for Case Western Reserve University on Heritage Day. Case wearing special commemorative jerseys of the Western Reserve and Case Institute football programs. Another low snap to Hermanson, and he will go down after he scoops up the football. He falls back at the 6-yard line. They will lose 2 on the play, and there have been some problems on the shotgun snap for Kenyon so far today, and it's cost him.
Well, it's a very rhythm offense. That wide open spread offense relies on timing, and if anything goes wrong before the quarterback can get set in the pocket, you're going to have problems. Low snap, high snap, fumbled snap.
Hermanson will hand this ball off to Kyle Toot, and he has nowhere to go.
He ran into the arms of Jeff Brown, who wasn't able to wrap him up but slow him down until a sea of red and brown engulfed him.
They were trying to get some room to operate down there, but Kyle Toot tackled for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 3rd down and 14. They started this drive on the 8, and now the football resting on the 4-yard line. Jeff Brown led the team with 87 tackles last season, had 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Hermanson from the end zone will take the snap. Looks to throw, has to get rid of it quickly, fires it out to the far sideline. It's caught out there by A.J. Clare, the tight end out of Shaker Heights, Ohio, and he catches it at the 15-yard line.
Paramore with a good tackle right after the reception, no yards after catch, and Case is forced to punt, so no harm on the turnover.
Yeah, it's short of the first down. Football marked at the 15. They needed to get to the 18 for the first down. And so they will send Matt Martin out to punt. Bott and nicely back near midfield to catch this kick. Kenyon a little late getting their 11th man on the field. The kick is away. It was almost blocked. Might have been partially tapped. I'm not sure.
Here comes the flag.
We'll see who got a flag here for Case. We'll see what the penalty is. I'm not sure if that ball was tipped or not. Michael Fioramonte, the freshman on the punt coverage team, is going to be whistled on a roughing the kicker call here. And that's going to give the ball back to Kenyon on a first down.
And it's the big one. It'll be 15 yards. So that'll push the ball out past the 30-yard line.
So he may have gotten some of the ball. He may have got some of Martin. And so they put the football down at the 30-yard line. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10 for Kenyon with 3:45 to go here in the first quarter. Case leading it by a score of 14-0. And Kenyon with new life here on this drive. They started out at the 8-yard line. There's still a flag laying back at the 5 that they forgot to pick up. They'll go to Hermanson here. Hermanson on the shotgun snap will hand it off to Kyle Toot, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no further. And again, Case bottling up that inside running game. Kyle Toot had a big game last year against Case, 182 yards on the ground. He later had a 208-yard day against Carnegie Mellon. So he is capable of putting up some gaudy rushing numbers. Hermanson back to throw. Little screen pass to Von Kahn. Gets out to the 36-yard line.
Well, the Spartans are trying to counteract that and not let Toot get wild on the running game, and that's by going to a 4-man defensive front. Case usually in that 3-4. Today they've shifted back and are now in a 4-2-5 to counterbalance the spread offense that Kenyon brings out.
Rich Doolin got in there to wrap up Von Kahn after that catch. 3rd down play coming up here. It's going to be a 3rd and a long 4 for Kenyon. Hermanson flips it out, incomplete. Looking for Charles Small, the sophomore wideout out of Columbus, Ohio, and it was over Small's outstretched arm.
Well, a true chess game going on between the offense of Kenyon and the defense of Case. Kenyon will show a 5-wide receiver set. Case will drop into a 4-2, but they'll bring a blitz, which forces Kenyon into a short passing game, even though they're in 5 wide receivers.
So another punt coming up here for Matt Martin. The Spartans send nicely back to bring this one on a return. And Case will try not to hit Martin here, as they did on the last punt attempt. Here is the kick. It is on its way out toward nicely. It's going to bounce and it gets by nicely. He'll have to let it roll, and it actually takes a U-turn and comes back near the 20-yard line after it bounced back down to the 17, and the Spartans will take over as if it was a touchback. 2:21 to play here in the first quarter. Season opener, Case against the Kenyon Lords today. These teams will not play in 2010, so this is the last game on the schedule for at least a couple of years. I'm not sure about the 2011 schedule yet, but not playing next year. Case, by the way, will see action against John Carroll next season. Not to get ahead of ourselves on day one, but that is a game that a lot of people are looking forward to around here.
It's been announced that Case will play the Blue Streaks.
Whalen takes the snap. He'll fire it out to Zach Homick at the 25-yard line. He's wide open and then hit and driven to the turf by Dan Runnels, the senior linebacker out of Danvers, Massachusetts. 2:08 to play. Clock continues to move here in the first quarter on a beautiful day here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, Whalen on the afternoon, he's 8 for 8, has near 100 yards passing, but everything's been underneath. Everything's been within about 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. Be curious to see when the Spartans take that shot downfield.
Whalen has 2 touchdown passes today, one to Cowdrick and the other to DJ Sutka. They will hand this ball off up the middle to Greg Meyer, and he is hit at the 27-yard line, pickup of 2. And so a third down coming up for the Spartans. We'll be on the road next week at the University of Rochester. Be an early wake-up call for us, Ed, after our respective high school games. Heading over to Rochester next week, and we'll have the broadcast of that game beginning at high noon right here on AM 1220 The Word and worldwide at case.edu. Welcome all of you listening online today, all the Case alumni tuning in, families and friends. Great to have you with us today for our broadcast of Spartans football. Whalen goes downfield this time looking for Homick. Great catch as he leaps, brings it in, and falls down at the 45-yard line of the Lords.
Ball was slightly underthrown, and Homick came back for the football. Made the catch as he went up in the air, shielded the ball away from the Kenyon defender.
Yeah, Carlo Gagliardo was all over Homick defensively, played that very well. But Homick able to haul that one in. Big pass, puts it on the Kenyon side of the field now at the 45-yard line. First down and 10 for the Spartans. Whalen will swing it out to Cowdrick. He makes the catch but slips and falls as he had to leave his feet to grab that pass.
Now, as soon as the whistle was blown, Dan Whalen looked over at the bench and pointed at his shoulder pads and said that was his fault. They had the play set up very nicely. Out of a wide receiver screen to the far side, Dan Cowdrick with room to run and blockers in front of him. Pass was high and threw off the timing.
They lose one on the play. Just 15 seconds left now in the first quarter. 14-0 Case. Whalen rolls out to the right, wants to go deep downfield. Here comes the first bomb of the day. Nicely goes up for it. He makes the catch at the 5-yard line. Well, the Case receivers are red hot. Couple of acrobatic grabs on this drive. Nicely makes the catch at the 5-yard line, and Case knocking on the door, and they'll actually mark it back at the 6, but it looked like he fell with the football right at the 5. And that's the end of the first quarter. So Case moving again, now at the Kenyon 6-yard line after a great catch by the junior Sean Nicely. We'll step away for this timeout. Second quarter action is coming up next. 14-0 Case leading Kenyon on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
C-A-S-E, Case.
Wings it toward the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown.
Celebrate the past, embrace your future. Alumni Weekend and Homecoming. Register online.
joining the Kenyon Lords and knocking on the door here. The football marked at the 6-yard line. And Dan Whalen works from the shotgun. He takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking into the end zone, guns it into the end zone, incomplete. Looked like he was aiming for Colasar down there. Incomplete as Ryan Colasar slid down to the turf to try to haul that one in. A 39-yard pass to Nicely brought the Spartans down where they stand right now at the 6. It is 2nd and goal, 14-0. Case leading it.
Well, Case had 3 receivers between the hash marks and the sideline on that play in the end zone alone. So squeezed a lot of potential receivers into a small space.
3 receivers stacked out to the left. Chekin is in the backfield. They will hand it to Corey Chekin. Goes around the right side, gets upended as he gets down close to the 3-yard line. So Chekin carries down. It'll be 3rd down and 3, 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Case leading it by 2 touchdowns, trying to extend the lead here. Taking on the Kenyon Lords today. Lords have had just 3 wins over the last 2 seasons. They were 2-8 in 2007, 1-9 last year. A lot of players back and hoping for better things this year. Dan Whalen checks off at the line of scrimmage. Full house backfield. 3 back there. They will fake a handoff. Whalen rolls out, looks to the end zone, tries to find someone open, fires it for Homick, incomplete. Whalen was being pursued pretty handily by the Kenyon backfield and had to get rid of it. So we'll see Sam Coffey come out for a field goal attempt. It's 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, and our first look at Coffey from a field goal attempt standpoint. Coffey with a couple of extra points today. Now a junior out of Middletown, Ohio, 21 career field goals. He needs just 1 to tie the school record held by Mike Weber from 83 to 85. So this one would tie the school record. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. Coffey kicks it in from 20 yards out, ties the school record with his 22nd career field goal. Coffey makes it a 17-0 game. Case leading it with 14 to go here in the 2nd quarter. We'll step away for this 30-second timeout on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Doherty, our studio engineer, is Nick Miller. Our sideline reporter is Kyle Akins. Glad to be with you today from Case Field as college football gets underway for the 2009 season. I'll bring you all 10-plus Case games this year on AM 1220 or our sister station, AM 1420. We'll be on AM 1420 for a portion of the schedule this year. Coffey approaches the football, kicks it off. Deep kick, taking Von Kahn all the way back to the end zone. He will bring it out to the 5. Running now horizontally, gets out to the 8-yard line and forced out of bounds before he could turn it upfield.
Scoring drive for the Spartans. 9 plays, 77 yards. Took 3 minutes and 21 seconds, capped off by the field goal, 20 yards from Sam Coffey.
Coffey with his 22nd career field goal. He was 9 of 13 last year.
And a career-long 45-yarder.
That came against Washington University in the final regular season game last year. A terrific kicker now in his junior season. Great weapon for Case, really in any game, but particularly in close ball games. Hermanson aiming for Von Kahn on the first play of the drive. It's incomplete. And they will have 2nd and 10 coming up. At the half today, we'll be visiting with Brad Paramore, the senior defensive back out of Garfield Heights, Ohio. And also we'll check in with Amy Bauman, junior midfielder on the Case women's soccer team. Check in with how the things are going at the women's soccer program here at Case. That's all coming up at the half today. Kyle Toot hits the 10-yard line as he gets the handoff. Not much running room there. Got hit by a couple of Spartans down there. And a long third down coming up for Kenyon. No gain on the play.
Kenyon technically still in negative yardage when it comes to their rushing. And Kyle Toot for the game. Now 5 carries, 1 yard.
Hermanson directing traffic as he calls out the signals from the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back, throws it over the middle, batted down.
Jake May got his hand up as Jeff Brown was in Hermanson's face.
So it will be another 3 and out for Kenyon here. 4th down and 10. They were not able to get to move the ball on their first 3 plays of this drive. 4th down and 10 from their own 10-yard line. 13:07 to play here in the second quarter. And Case will receive this punt and will likely start the drive in Kenyon territory. Bott and nicely set up at the 40. Here is the punt from Martin. It is a good kick, and it sails back over midfield and takes a Case bounce, and it's down at the 44-yard line of the Spartans. So they do start in their own territory, Ed, but good field position nonetheless. And very difficult for Kenyon to pin Case back because of the way they have been unable to move the football.
Well, and that punt was, distance-wise, was great, but because it was more of a spiral when it hit this turf, it just checked up. Had it been more of an end-over-end kick, probably would have got a bigger roll deeper into Case territory. Instead, Case starts near midfield just because of the type of surface they're playing on.
46-yard punt as is, and so Case will take over at their own 44 with 12:58 to play here in quarter number 2. Whalen calls out the signals and takes the snap. He drops back, wings it out to Ryan Colasar at the 45-yard line. Over on the far sideline, he's tripped up, picks up a couple of yards on the play. Colasar, the senior out of Mentor, Ohio, who had 26 catches last year for 433 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a great average of 16.7 yards per catch. He is really a deep threat for Case.
Well, they're going to credit Colasar with 2 yards on the reception, and that's what he needed to reach 1,000 yards in his career at Case.
Whalen will drop back in the shotgun. 2 receivers split to each side now, and he will again check off at the line of scrimmage, changes up the play. 2nd down and 8. 12:15 on the clock. Takes the snap now over the middle, hits Cowdrick with a pass. He dives past midfield and gets down to the 47-yard line.
Whalen recognized the blitz, went to the hot receiver, Cowdrick over the middle. Although if he'd been able to take a couple of extra steps into the pocket, Sean Nicely had a couple of steps on his man down the far sideline.
6-yard pickup to Tim Cowdrick's. 3rd down and 2 now with the football resting at the 48-yard line of Kenyon. Check-in goes in motion. Whalen takes the snap. They'll go to Bill Deitman. Stiff arms a man. Flag comes out. Deitman is dragged down at the 50-yard line. We'll see what the flag is all about. Deitman was wrapped up, did not have a whole lot of running room. They marked the football at the 49-yard line. We've yet to see a call. They're looking over at the Kenyon sideline. It is against Case, and they will decline the penalty.
It's a hold.
Holding the call against Case. I'm not sure who the guilty party was, but it is declined. And Case short of the 1st down, so they will take the play.
Well, it looked like it was number 68 for Case, who we do not have on our roster.
Case wearing different uniforms today with the Heritage Day celebration. And on the alternate roster we have, there is also no number 68. So Case with a 4th down. And it looks like they will go for it here. The football resting at the 49-yard line. 4th down and 3 for Case. So Whalen will call out the play. 4 receivers in the game. And a whistle and a timeout taken by Case. So Case takes a timeout. Greg Debelak decides he wants to talk things over. Wise move by the sixth-year head man of the Spartans. And we will take a timeout as well. 17-0 Case, 11:07 to go before halftime. And we'll be back after this 30-second break on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to Case Field, everybody. David Wilson along with Ed Doherty. Our studio engineer is Nick Miller. Kyle Akins is on the field. We'll be checking in with Kyle momentarily. Not yet halfway through the second quarter. 11:07 to play. In the second quarter, Case looking at a 4th and 3 right now from the 49-yard line of the Kenyon Lords. Case going for it here. Dan Whalen will direct traffic. We hear the flyover. F-16 flying over here as they get ready for the Cleveland Air Show. Air Show going on today from Dan Whalen. He's 13 of 15 so far today. He takes a high snap in the shotgun, rolls out. Looking for an open receiver. He's grabbed in the backfield and sacked back at the 38-yard line.
That's Mark Sullivan, the nose tackle getting through.
Mark Sullivan out of St. Ignatius High School here in Cleveland. Sacks Whalen, and Case gives it up after they gamble on the 4th and 3. The sack all the way back at the 40-yard line, and so Kenyon takes over in Case territory. So the Lords turning the tables on the Spartans here as they now have the short field to work with. Hermanson will lead the offense back out. Charles Small lines up wide to the right. 3 receivers on the left. Von Can is in the slot. They go to Hermanson. Fakes a handoff. No one open. Now he tries to run it. Gets to the 40, to the 35. Knocked out of bounds by Jeff Brown. At the 33-yard line, he picks up 7 yards but pays the price at the end.
Well, Jeff Brown lowered the boom at the 32 right at the sideline, and Hermanson ended up about 7 yards out of bounds.
He went sliding on that turf. Back up and back in the shotgun now. No huddle offense for Kenyon. 10:45 to go, second quarter. 17-0 Case. Hermanson takes the snap, hands it off to Kyle Toot, puts his head down, gets the first down as he gets across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. They'll move the chains as Kyle Toot picks up the first down yardage. Football marked at the 29-yard line. Case leading it 17-0 here. Early second quarter action. Bad snap again. Hermanson picks it up. He tries to run with it, but he is knocked down in the backfield. First man to him was Lucas Sasala. And again, a bad snap cost the Lords, and this time they will mark the football all the way back to the 35, so they lost 6 on the play.
Well, Sean Millett, the center, I think the ball hit his leg coming out the way it right up under the knee near the calf, and it just kind of died. Ball fell down about 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, where Hermanson had to run up, pick it up, and prevent the turnover.
Nice snap this time. Hermanson flips it out to Harry Von Kahn. He gets back out to the 27-yard line, so they pick up 7 on the play, but a long third down is coming up. So Von Kahn makes the catch. Harry Von Kahn now with his 3rd catch of the day. Preseason All-American for the Lords. He'll line up on the right side this time. Hermanson will work on 3rd and 8. Football marked at the 27-yard line. They need to get down to the 19. Small makes the catch coming across the middle. He's knocked down by Lucas Sasala at the 25. They pick up only 2, and it's a 4th and 6.
Well, Kenyon's in that position where it's too long to kick a field goal, most likely. So they'll look for a 4th down play.
Charles Small with his first catch of the day. He had 42 catches last year, so they will go for it here. It's 4th and 5. They mark the football on the 24-yard line. Hermanson back to throw. Case coming at him. They throw it across the middle. It's caught by Leskoski. He has the first down as he gets close to the 16-yard line.
Use the umpire as a shield there for just an instant. At that point was able to turn upfield and pick up enough yardage for the first down.
Mike Leskoski out of North Lima, Ohio, makes the catch. They convert on 4th down, and Kenyon with their best drive of the day right now. 1st and 10 from the Case 17-yard line. Hermanson flips it out to Von Kahn. He makes the catch at the 12-yard line and wrestled out of bounds by Bobby Bott with some help from Lee Sasala. And Kenyon marches down as they peel off 5 more, and it's 2nd down and 5.
And that rhythm of that spread offense is the short passing game, almost like long handoffs.
Hermanson again working in the backfield. Toot is back there. They look to do the option, but Hermanson keeps it, gets across the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. 12-yard touchdown run for Mike Hermanson. He was running along with Kyle Toot, and we were expecting any minute for him to flip that ball off to Toot, but he keeps it himself, puts his head down, and runs in for the score and makes it 17-6.
Well, most of the Spartans' defense was expecting the flip on the option. Hermanson decided to tuck it under, found a seam, plowed into the end zone.
12-yard touchdown run. Now Harry Von Kahn on to try the extra point kick. It is up, and it is good, and the Lords are on the board. It is 17-7. Case leading it by 10 with 8:05 to go here in the second quarter. We'll step away for a 30-second timeout. Back with more from Case Field on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. To 7, Case leading it. Let's check in on the sidelines with Kyle Akins.
To mix up their offensive pack just a little bit in order to try to change the rhythm of the game, which they did with the no-huddle offense. After their first touchdown drive of the game, we'll see how Coach McCauley adjusts going forward. Back to you, guys.
Kyle, thank you very much. And, yeah, they did mix it up a little bit that time, Ed, more so than we had seen them do. On the short passing game, as you pointed out, Kyle Toot did not carry on that drive. Instead, using a lot of little screen passes, a couple to Von Kahn there. And then they finally ran it in with the Hermanson keeper from 12 yards out. This one bounces all the way back, and it's picked up by Sean nicely on the kickoff. He finally picks it up, gets back out to the 35-yard line. A flag comes out.
There are 2 of them down. It's going to be a personal foul, and I think it's going to be a face mask against Kenyon.
Nicely had to field that ball in about 4 hops. Finally started to pick his way back upfield, and then flags came out at the tail end of the play after the tackle was made.
The drive for Kenyon, 8 plays, 40 yards, 2 minutes, 56 seconds.
We do have the personal foul, face mask, and it is against the Lords. Very definitive call there by our referee today. They will mark this one ahead. This is a big one. 15-yarder. And it's all the way back out to the 49-yard line. Case starting in their own territory, but just 1 yard shy of midfield.
Well, you talked about Mike Hermanson. Technically, it was an 11-yarder, officially an 11-yard touchdown run, but maybe the biggest play for the drive was Mark Sullivan's sack of Dan Whalen, which set up the drive.
Yeah, it gave it the ball to Kenyon at the 40-yard line. Greg Meyer breaks across midfield, stays right in the middle of the field, and dives back out to the 45-yard line. Case will have it 2nd down and 4, a pickup of 6 for Greg Meyer. Meyer with his 4th carry of the day and up to 24 yards now. 7.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Whalen takes the snap. He'll flip it out to Cowdrick. A lot of room to run on the sideline. Gets across the 40 to the 35, down to the 30, to the 27-yard line before he's finally wrestled down.
Cowdrick running like Corey Checken on that play after he picked up the swing pass from Dan Whalen.
Tim Cowdrick with the grab out on the far sideline. We've seen Case use that play with Cowdrick many times. Cowdrick with his 4th catch of the day. This one goes for big yardage all the way down to the 29-yard line. 16-yard pickup for the Spartans. They lead at 17-7. Greg Meyer again gets the call from Whalen. Pushes his way forward down close to the 25-yard line, maybe on the 26. And it'll be second down around 7 for Case on this next play. But Case has used that play many times, Ed, to Cowdrick on that little swing pass out into the flat, and he is able to run down that sideline.
Well, and they use the size of the other 3 receivers with Holmick, Colasar, and Nicely, all being guys 6'2", 6'3", as a lead block for Cowdrick to catch and move.
Whalen in trouble as he rolls out of the pocket to the right. Fires it to Sutka on the sideline, far side next to the Kenyon bench. He's knocked out of bounds inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Sutka with his 3rd catch of the day. He had a touchdown reception earlier. Whalen bought enough time to find Sutka open.
Whalen now 15 for 18 on the afternoon, 187 yards.
That's a first down for Case. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Kenyon 19-yard line. Case got this drive started at the 49-yard line after the face mask penalty on the kickoff return. Bill Deitman is wrapped up as he hits the line of scrimmage. No gain. Nicely defended by the Lords.
Case right there ran into the teeth of the Lords defense. Kenyon had switched from their 3-5 defense. They went to a 4-2 and were blitzing a linebacker. So 5 Kenyon Lords matched up against 5 offensive linemen. Deitman nowhere to run.
They do give him 1 yard up to the 18. So second down and 9 for Case. Spartans moving right to left. Whalen will go back and hand up the middle again. This one carried by Greg Meyer, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Bo Kelsey again in there on the tackle with some defensive help from Mark Sullivan. Kenyon stuffing the run here on these last 2 plays. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Right now, Whalen, as Ed mentioned, 183 yards passing with 5:12 to go here in the second quarter, and it's without a big, deep pass like we've seen in the past. Here is a quick strike to Cowdrick. Gets away from a tackler. He'll go in for the touchdown. Cowdrick make the catch at about the 10-yard line and was able to break away from the first tackler and goes in for the score. It's an 18-yard touchdown pass from Whalen to Tim Cowdrick. He got away from Evan Ray, the senior linebacker out of Chardon, but once he got away from him, there was no one else nearby, and Cowdrick able to go in.
As Ray was sliding down to tackle Cowdrick, Tim raised his leg, and I think he caught him up under the chin. As he got up, was shaking his head, was Ray.
Coffey kicks it through for the extra point. And Case extends the lead now to 24-7 with 4:56 to go here in the second quarter. We'll step away for a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with more from Case Field after this on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. 4 minutes, 56 seconds to go here in the second quarter at Case Field on a breezy and sunny day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Game time temperature of 70 degrees. And the Spartans all over the Kenyon Lords right now by a score of 24-7. Cowdrick with a pair of 18-yard touchdown receptions today from Dan Whalen. Cowdrick with some nifty moves on that last reception to get in for the score, his second of the day. The kickoff from Coffey will bounce all the way back into the end zone, and it is a touchback, and Kenyon will start out on their own 20-yard line. Tim Cowdrick's story well documented. Serious accident while he was in high school, a fall that left him with a broken back. Came back in his high school career and came on to Case to play college football. Was having just a prolific sophomore season that was derailed by a broken ankle. Battled hamstring injuries last year, but came back. Very tough young man, and starting out his senior season in a big way today. So far today, Tim Cowdrick, 5 catches, 58 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They'll swing this ball out to Von Kahn on the first play of the drive, and he's run out of bounds over there by Zach Haas of Case. And that is short of the first down by about a yard. He steps out of bounds at the 29-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Kenyon Lords with 4:45 to go here in the second quarter. Coming up at the end of the quarter, we'll check in with Kyle Akins. He hopes to have a chance to chat with Greg Debelak as they leave the field. Von Kahn makes the catch. Flag comes out. Von Kahn dives ahead out close to the 34-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. Probably a hold. Oh, we've got a personal foul call.
Give Case for a blow to the head.
I'm not sure who hit whom, but it is going to go against the Spartans, so they'll wipe out that last play and take the penalty. Or we'll see if they mark it from the end of the play. I think they will. So that will bring it all the way out to the 49-yard line. So the play stands. Case gets the personal foul call. And now Kenyon operating right at midfield at their own 49-yard line, 24-7. Case on top. Tim Cowdrick with 2 touchdown receptions. DJ Sutka with a touchdown. And Sam Coffey with a 20-yard field goal. Case comes on the blitz. They hand it off to Kyle Toot. He dives across midfield and picks up about 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Kenyon Lords. Kenyon gave up 37.3 points a game last year. That's an area that Ted Stanley wants to improve on this year, no doubt about it. His offense has been terrific over the past few years that he has been at the helm of the program, but trying to shore up defensively. Low snap to Hermanson. He comes up with it, flips it out to Charlie Small, just shy of the 45, tackled at the 46-yard line, and another flag comes in at the end of that play.
That came from the official about 25 yards away.
Yeah, that may have been the longest flight of a flag I've ever seen, and it had a great arc as well. Football resting at the 45, and this will go against the Spartans. Another personal foul call, a face mask penalty, goes against Case. And this will put the football out at the 30-yard line. So the Spartans marching down the field for Kenyon here. And there will be a timeout taken. Marcus McCullough was just about to go out and tear into somebody. And Greg Debelak put his hand on Marcus's shoulder and said,
held him back.
Hold down, big fella. So they will talk things over. Timeout. We'll keep it right here. 3:45 to play here in quarter number 2, 24-7. And really, I think the story of the day, Ed, on a couple of different points, Dan Whalen, 16 of 18, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. His long of 39 was to nicely. So certainly that is not unexpected in terms of yardage from Dan Whalen, but the accuracy today has just been fantastic.
Well, and he's been, and one of the passes, His receivers have gone up and made some catches for him, so he hasn't been not hitting them directly between the numbers, but that's the timing that they develop in the offseason. That's the program that when Whalen gets together with his wide receivers and they have a chance to put on that 7-on-7 drill, that's the kind of output that you get when you execute in the 7-on-7, as these guys are now comfortable with the ball that Dan Whalen throws.
Well, there have been some acrobatic catches, no doubt about it. And then there have been some other times when guys have been wide open. But Tim Cowdrick also today, a great first half for the Case Western Reserve Spartans. Hermanson carrying it himself, gets hit by Jeff Brown and picks up about 3 hard-earned yards here on 1st and 10. Clock continues to move. Kenyon has all 3 of their timeouts left. Case has 1 here in the first half. 3:27 and counting here before halftime at Case Field. Beautiful day here in Cleveland. Case Field, one of the more picturesque settings for Division III football. Hermanson will drop back to throw. Goes over the middle, ball tipped, and it falls incomplete. Pass was batted down, or at least deflected by the Spartans. I believe that was Jeff Brown who got a hand up there and deflected that pass. And now the Lords facing a 3rd down and 8 on the Case 28-yard line. 24-7. This is an important drive for Kenyon. They can punch it in here. It tightens things up a little, gives them some positive momentum going into the halftime break. Now Hermanson will throw again, goes up top looking for Von Kahn. He leaps up, he makes the grab, and is pushed out of bounds at the 2, or will they give him the 1-yard line? It looks like it'll be on the 1. 27-yard strike from Hermanson to Von Kahn. Von Kahn, the 6'4", senior out of Washington, D.C., hauls in the pass.
Just up against Bobby Bott, just was simply taller on the pass. Hermanson threw it up, and Von Kahn has about 4 inches on Bott and used every bit of it.
His 7th catch of the day. They will snap it to Toot, and he dives in and gets the touchdown. 1-yard touchdown run. Did they snap that directly to Kyle Toot, or was it a handoff?
Well, it looked a little confusing. It looked like the guard may have started early as well when he pulled out.
Yeah, it did not look like the play developed the way they wanted, but it ends up a 1-yard touchdown run for Kyle Toot.
They need a holder.
And now they do not have a holder out for the extra point. They have 19 seconds left on the play clock, so plenty of time to get out there. It's Andrew Cheever, the junior, coming out to hold. Actually, check that. It's Brian Thorne. And they were 2 guys short. Now they get another guy on the line of scrimmage. Here is the snap and the kick from Von Kahn. It's up and it is good. And Kenyon, helped by a couple of personal foul penalties against the Spartans, march down the field. And they tighten it up here to a 10-point game at 24-14 with 2:46 to go here in quarter number 2.
Well, this is different than last year when Case led 42-0 at halftime and then put up 20 quick points in the 3rd quarter and had the Lords up 62-0 on Kenyon last year in Gambier before Kenyon put up 4 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
So the Spartans now will come back out, prepare to accept the kickoff. Sean Nicely and Bobby Bott will drop back deep. And again, next week we'll be on the road at Rochester for the 2nd game of the 2009 season. That'll be a 12 o'clock game. We'll be on the air right at high noon, right here on AM 1220 The Word and on case.edu for play-by-play coverage of the Spartans and Rochester next Saturday afternoon. 2:46 to go here today at Case Field in the season opener for both teams. Spartans 24, Kenyon 14. Von Kahn does it all. He will kick off for the Kenyon Lords. This one is a ground ball that rolls all the way out to Sean Nicely. Picks it up at the 25 to the 35, now to the 40 to the 45, now midfield. Still on his feet, down to the 40. Finally tripped up, or is he still on his feet? They finally knock him down at the 35-yard line. Nicely broke a couple extra tackles. Here comes another flag. And the flag comes flying in there after Nicely with a terrific return all the way down to the 35-yard line. Big return for Sean Nicely as he gets a 50-yard return. 24-14.
Big discussion going on between
officials talking about it. Again, this came from the official deep behind the play. And it looks like we are going to have offsetting penalties. Nope, what is it?
It's hands to the face. It'll go against Kenyon.
Kenyon, yeah.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Okay, we'll mark this ball off from the end of the run, and it should be right around the 20-yard line. The play ended at the 35, but it looks like they're going to mark this one, Ed, at the 15. Actually down at the 14-yard line. So your guess is as good as mine, but the infraction must have happened at the 29.
Both head coaches were looking for explanations. Different officials as they get set up for the first down play.
Whalen takes the snap from the 14-yard line into the end zone. Cowdrick is wide open. He makes the catch. It's a touchdown, Spartans. 14-yard strike from Whalen to Cowdrick on one play. 30-14 Case with the extra point coming up.
Well, and Kenyon had closed to within 10 points. And a squib kick that's returned to their own 35, a big-time personal foul call. And then the Spartans just drop the hammer and extend the lead back out to 16 points.
Tim Cowdrick, 3 touchdown catches today. 2 of 18 yards, and now this one from 14 yards out. They will set up for the extra point. Sam Coffey on to try and kick this one through. Colasar is the holder. Sutka is the snapper. There is the hold. The kick is up, and it is no good. He pushed it off to the left. So Coffey misses the extra point. And with 2.5 minutes to go here before the half, Case leads it by a score of 30-14. And the only thing that went right on that drive for Kenyon was a missed extra point by Case.
Well, if you can call it a drive between the kickoff return, the penalty, and the quick strike capability.
Well, the only confusing thing on that play, Ed, was that Nicely returned that about 50 yards out to the 35-yard line is where he was tackled. But when they marked off the yardage, they placed the ball at the 14-yard line of Case. And so the infraction must have happened at the 29.
But they still wouldn't have moved. Even if it did happen there, wouldn't you move it from the end of the play?
You would think it would always go from the end of the play, but in some form or fashion.
The only thing I can think is that they just lost track of where the football was on the field, because if Nicely was down the 34, 35-yard line, then the mark 15 off would have put it at the 20.
Right, exactly. But it works out in Case's favor to be sure on that play, and it's 30-14. Tim Cowdrick now with 3 touchdown catches today, 6 receptions, 73 yards receiving, and now Dan Whalen, 17 of 19 for 216 yards here in the first half. The kick is an end-over-end kick, driving all the way back to the goal line. Von Kahn makes the catch. He'll bring it upfield. Out to the 15, to the 20, out to the 25, still on his feet, turns the corner at the 30, to the 35, and out of bounds across the 40-yard line, now at the 44-yard line.
Well, Sam Coffey will now end up in the defensive stats as Coffey, the kicker, pushed Von Kahn out of bounds. Or pushed him. Von Kahn couldn't stay in bounds and tiptoed the sideline before he went out of bounds at the 44.
43-yard return for Harry Von Kahn. He is quite an athlete. Great return, and he will line up in a slot position on the right. Hermanson takes the snap, fires it ahead. Catch is made by Leskoski, and he's tackled short of midfield by Jake May. And it's a pickup of about 5 for the Kenyon Lords. Clock moves with 2:08 to play here in the second quarter. Well, high school football is coming up tonight on our sister station, AM 1420, with the great Ed Doherty on the play-by-play of St. Ignatius. And they play tonight
the Clayton Northmont Thunderbolts out of the Dayton area.
And that'll be over at Byers Field tonight. And what time is airtime?
6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff.
First down play for the Lords as Toot rushes for 7, picks up the first down. Now 1st and 10, and Hermanson is leveled as he fires the pass. And it is incomplete. 2nd down and 10 from the 44-yard line of the Spartans.
Well, Sasala and English got together in the backfield as they went up to hit Hermanson. Looked like they hit their thigh. Somebody got a knee into a thigh, and we're both slow to get up.
Back up now, and both in the game. Hermanson with Toot in the backfield, takes the snap. They'll flip it out, looking for Charlie Small. He dives and tries to make the catch, but it hit the turf. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10 with 1:40 to play here in the second quarter. Absolutely gorgeous day. And Ed, we talk about it a lot as far as the setting of Case Field here among the dormitories, the red brick buildings surrounding the field. Just an outstanding place to watch a college football game.
Well, and it started this morning with the recruiting. It's a nice place. You bring them up, you show them off the field. Coach Debelak was already recruiting some seniors. Had him up here on a visit.
Hermanson will go down in the backfield. Everybody was covered downfield. And Hermanson tried to tuck it under and run, and he is knocked down. And the clock stops. Nope, it's still moving. 1:25 to go. Case does have one timeout left. Kenyon has all 3. But right now they are not using it. It's 4th down and 12. They lost 2 on the sack.
A little surprised that the Spartans didn't take the timeout there and save as much time as they could for the offense.
Right now, 1:04. The play clock is at 9. And it looks like Ted Stanley is going to let as much time run off as possible. And Ted does take the timeout as the play clock reaches 1. And so that's Kenyon's first timeout of the half. They have 2 left, 54 seconds left, 4th down and 12. So they will likely punt this one away and try and pin Case back as deep as possible and leave as little time as possible on the clock for the Spartans to operate here in this final minute of the second half.
Well, the Spartans are content at this point to go into the locker room leading by 16. Some of the body language of the coaching staff indicates that they'll take a knee.
30-14. We'll be checking in with Kyle Akins immediately after the half and hopefully get some reaction from Greg Debelak on the first half of play. And it has been a career day for Dan Whalen so far. 17 of 19 for 216 yards. His career best is 306 yards, and that came in that unbelievably exciting playoff game against Widener 2 years ago.
Well, that included a 97 or 98-yard touchdown pass, a school record.
97 yards to Sean Nicely. That helped bring the Spartans back that day.
And the final drive was another 70 yards through the air.
Nicely sets up at the 10-yard line to receive this punt from Bennett. The kick is on the way. It's a high spiraling kick, and Nicely lets it bounce, and it's going to be downed at the 6-yard line. First man to it was Brett Williams. He caught it on a bounce, and Case is pinned back with 46 seconds left. And we'll see if they do indeed take a knee here. Spartans will come out. The offensive unit led by the fine senior quarterback, Dan Whalen. 2-time University Athletic Association Player of the Year. And if they named one today, he would be at 19 of 17 in his first action of the season. 30-14. They line up 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Checken is in the backfield. Whalen changes the play. We've seen him do that about 3 times today now. Here is the snap back to Whalen. Pump fakes. Now he wants to go deep downfield. Holmick has a step on his man. He slides and he makes the catch at the 50-yard line. Zach Holmick with the catch of the day as he slides down and makes the catch at the turf.
Well, the clock will stop as they set the chains. Case will be ready as soon as they wind the clock.
This team is hitting on all cylinders right now. 45 yards from Whalen to Zach Homick. Whalen back to throw again. Wants to go deep downfield. Cowdrick makes the catch right in the middle of the field, down at the 25-yard line. 24-yard pickup. Cowdrick with another catch.
That's 70 yards passing in 2 plays for Dan Whalen.
1st and 10 Case. The football marked at the 24. Whalen wants to throw again. Plenty of time, no rush. He swings it out to Colasar at the 15-yard line. He steps out of bounds. He might have been shy of the 15. In fact, they say he was out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Whalen with 3 straight completions here. 10 seconds left in the second quarter, and the football now on the 17. It's 2nd down and 3. Case does have 1 timeout left. They update the yardage now. 293 yards passing for Dan Whalen after that completion to Ryan Colasar. Dan Whalen takes the snap, steps back to throw, looks toward the end zone. Coverage breaking down. Now he's still on his feet, wings it into traffic. Homick is knocked down from behind as the ball arrived. No flag comes out. Homick was looking for the flag, but it did not come forth from the referee. 2.5 seconds left, so the Spartans will have 1 more shot at the end zone.
Well, it looks like Sam Coffey's coming on to place down his tee and attempt a field goal.
They will try to get at least 3 points out of this. 3rd down and 3. And it looks like Coffey will kick this one from the 24. So a 34-yard field goal attempt. Coffey looking for his 2nd of the day. And this would set a new school record if he boots it through. And a whistle and a timeout is going to be taken, I believe, by Kenyon. So Kenyon will stall things here as Coffey was setting up for the field goal attempt. Sam Coffey is, in his own right, a great story, Ed. He came in as a freshman and really made an impact. Kicked a huge field goal to win a game over at Carnegie Mellon his freshman season. As you mentioned, had a 45-yarder last year and a key spot in that game against Wash U as Case completed an undefeated season and comes back for his junior year and in a moment has a chance to set a new school record for field goals in a career in just the first game of his junior season.
Well, and I think there's more to it than just the field goals. The fact that he was 53 of 55 last year on extra points, and his kickoffs, to have somebody at the Division III level that can consistently kick the football inside the 10-yard line really pins teams deep on that side of the special teams as well. So Coffey brings a lot to this team. They don't have to use an extra player to say, oh, go kick off. That's Coffey's job, and he does it very well.
Sutka will snap it. Colasar will hold it. They'll put the football down at the 24-yard line. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is on its way, and it is no good. Again, pushed it off to the left. And that's the end of the first half. So Coffey will have to wait until his next attempt to set that new school record. Right now he settles for a tie with Mike Weber.